Hello. How are you guys doing? Welcome to game day, everybody. We have officially made it to game day Mystery Make Along 2021. This is the beginning of it, and I promised all of you that I would go live if I felt like you possibly needed some help with the plays for the hour. And I've already gotten a couple questions for this particular hour, so I thought I would jump on and go live and give a helping hand to you crocheters. So, how did you like Mr. Timer? He is fantastic. He is helpful, and I love Mr. Timer. So, what I need to do right now, I need to grab some yarn and a hook. And so I'm going to grab my yarn actually. I was so busy getting everything ready, I forgot to grab the yarn. Let me grab my yarn. While I'm doing that, raise of hands, how many of you are here participating or you're just here for the shenanigans? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to smash that like button, you guys, because we are in the thick of it. And oh gosh, what colors do I have in here? I only have 2 colors in here. Which is crazy because I have so many colors. Which do I want to go with? This is the question. Do I want brown? Do I want browns? Do I want blues? I kind of like that. I'll go with this. So I'm going to go with these 2 colors as I show you guys samples. So as you have probably already clicked over to the main blog post, so you know that the clues are live. And we're going to do this as quickly as we possibly can, so that way I can get ready for the 9 a.m. clue. Because I'll be right back here at 9 a.m. to show you guys how to do that one too, because it is a little bit different from this. So I am going to try and get this happening here. So what I need you to do is, if you have not yet taken a look at the pattern as it stands, I need you to do that. And remember, each hour on the hour, you will go to the blog post. I've already linked it in the video description box below. It's the same one that I've added all along. It's the same one you went to that you got the basic information for what the event was. Every hour on the hour, at the bottom of that blog post, scroll all the way down. All of those times you see, I highlight them. I shouldn't say I highlight them. I make them all bold. Like if it's the hour is live, I make it bold and I hyperlink it. So all you need to do is click the hyperlink and it takes you to the play for that hour. That does mean that for each hour, there'll be a different page to go to. So that's 10 different pages. When the entire event is near the end, I'm hoping I will have the ad-free PDF up and available for purchase. So that way, if you wanted everything in one place, you would have it available for you to purchase if you wanted to. Otherwise, it will always be free on my website in this format. So you'll be able to at least go and click whatever hour you're following, and you could get the pattern for free. No questions asked. Okay, so I am going to the knitting one right now. Let me do a quick share screen so that we all can make sure we're on the same page here. This is where I once I click the time, this is where I go to crochet or game day mystery make along crochet 8 a.m. play. And so you can see here, I did put in some of the details you might, be curious about. It's adventurous beginner. You don't know what the finished measurement is yet, but you already know what the gauge is because I gave you that. We use swirl cakes. In this one, we have 2 colors, color A and color B. We want to use the darker of the 2 colors as color A. Do you have to do that? No, you absolutely don't. You could go rogue. You could do whatever you want. I'll just let you know that a lot of the testers and myself use the darker of the 2 colors for color A. You're going to use a K crochet hook or whatever hook you got to get size. There were some questions about that. I will tell you, it's better to have it tighter versus looser. Okay. So if you're not going to get gauge, it's better for you to have it tighter than looser. Stitch markers, all the good things. And then these are all of the abbreviations we will be using today. So right down here, 8 a.m. play. This is where your instructions start. Okay. So with color A, we're going to chain 80. And then we're going to join to the first chain with a slip stitch and work in the round. So I'm not going to chain 80. I'm going to just chain a few here to start. So that way you don't have to watch me go through all 80 stitches. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. And then we'll move on to round 1. So I'm going to click away from this page. If you don't have this page, you absolutely need it. And as I mentioned, you want to make sure this page here, this is the page that you will be going to every hour. Put that page in your Marley Bird bookmark on your web browser. And I will just show you because I know people will ask. I'm scrolling, literally scrolling all the way down, all the way down. It's down at the bottom, everybody, right here. Get the plays each hour here below. You can see the 8 a.m. plays are hyperlinked. They are set to go. And then when the 9 a.m. are set, I'll have those hyperlinked. All right. So that's really important. You have that page bookmarked. It'll make things so much easier. All right, y'all, here we go. I'm going to click over and let's see if I can make it to where you're going to have the audio from this camera. So that way I can make it bigger. Okay. All right. So give me just a second. Unmute that. And do you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, everybody. Video bomber in the back. Probably. I have my kids here. Everybody's here. So I'm just making sure you guys can hear me all right. Everybody hear me all right? Yes? I'm trying to see here. There's a delay, so it's kind of hard. All right, so I have color A right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a slip knot directly onto my hook. Even if you can't hear me, you should be able to see what I'm doing. And you will chain 80 to begin with. So you don't want to chain super tight, super loose. I mean, chain as you normally would, okay, you guys? Chain as you normally would. Now, I know right now there's going to be somebody that's like, well, I don't like working with my chains. I see the first row is just all half double crochets. Can I just do a foundation half double crochet? My answer is no. You have no clue what we are making. So here is the biggest tip I can give for you guys. You ready? When you are working a mystery make along, don't deviate from the plan if you have no idea what you're making, because you don't know if that's going to be good or bad for the ultimate design. And for this one, I do not think it would be good for the design because it does not have the same structure that the chains do. Okay. So you will chain 80 and then you will join to work in the round. So you're going to bring that first stitch over and stick your hook into it. Make sure nothing is twisted. Okay. So this is going to be very important. Make sure nothing is twisted. And then you will make sure you're not working with your tail. Yarn over, pull up a loop and pull that loop through. So you have essentially created this round. Okay. So now we're going to work half double crochets. And we start off with the chain 2. So chain 1, chain 2. Throughout the entire pattern, this chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Repeat after me. Every chain 2 that you will do in the entire pattern here at the beginning, it does not count as a stitch, okay? That will hold true throughout the entire pattern. All right. I'm going to yarn over. If that doesn't count as a stitch, that means I'm going to go into the very first chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through all 3. Now, this yarn is a bit of a roving. You go to the next chain. After you yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through all 3. It makes it a little tricky to frog or pull out. And you can find if your hook is way too pointy here at the tip, that it could start to snag your yarn. So you do want to be extra cautious and careful as you're working around. If you have followed any of my beginner crochet classes, you know I often will say kind of turn your hook so that it's not this direction, it's not that direction, it's down coming through those stitches, and it helps prevent any sort of a snag. Okay, so I'm just going to half double crochet around these. Obviously this is fewer than what you have, but it's because I'm just doing a little swatch so that we can work through this. I think on the next hour, I might ask one of the testers if they want to join me in here so they can act as a moderator and help me by looking at your comments in the chat while I'm working. Because as I'm working on this, I actually can't see the chat question. So I'll have to go over there and look once I am done with this little bit right here. So glad you guys are here. If you are working along with me, fantastic. Make sure you give that thumbs up on the video, you guys. I would love to see it. And also, if you're following along, make sure you leave a comment on the actual video And why don't you tell me what your color A is? And if you're not using Karen swirl cakes, that's totally okay. Let us know what yarn you are using and let us know what color you're using. I'm just super fascinated by all the different colors that are being used so far in the Marley's Minions Facebook group. It's pretty darn cool. So I would love to know what color your color A is. And we will talk about color B in the next video. So don't talk about color B yet. We'll do that in the 9 o'clock hour. Ooh, that's a tip. We're gonna use color B in the 9 o'clock hour, okay, y'all? So we definitely wanna get through all of these instructions with color A. All right, so I'm coming around here. I got one more. So at the end of this round, you are going to join with the slip stitch into the top of that half double crochet. So you're ignoring those chain twos. We're going to join to the top of that half double crochet with a slip stitch. Okay. At the end of your round, you should be able to count all of your half doubles and you should have 80 half double crochets. Okay. So I'm going to set this down for a second. I'm going to turn on my light so we can see a little bit. All right, so make sure you leave your comments on the actual video, guys. I really definitely want to see those comments. Okay, so this is probably what you're here for. You were like, what does the third loop mean? And so this is what we're going to do. You guys ready? So we start off with the chain 2. And then we're going to half double crochet in the third loop. So here's where the third loop is. Let me see if I can get something here to point. If this is the front loop, okay, you guys see that? That's the front loop. That's the back loop. The third loop is even behind the back loop. It's right back here. It's that one. Okay. So let me take this off for a second. This is the front. This is the back. This is the third. Okay. So we're going to work around into the third loop. And what that's going to do, it's going to give this really, it's going to push the front and the back loop forward, and it's going to give a really nice finish. So here's how you're going to do it. You've chained 2. Does that count as a stitch? And the crowd goes, no. All right. So we're going to yarn over. It's essentially, if you're looking at the top of your work, kind of look to the back and pick up that back loop. That's the third loop. Yarn over, pull up, yarn over, draw through all 3. I'll do it again. There's the top of my stitch. I'm coming behind, and it's right there. You can notice I kind of go behind and just kind of scoop at it. That's the third loop. Right back here. And get it. Go get you some, y'all. Go get you some. This is working into the third loop. And you can see it's pushing the front loop and the back loop forward, and it makes this really nice, like knit stitch looking line. I think it's awesome. You guys see this? Now I want to get all the way around because I want to show you how you're going to finish this when you're working these camel or third loop stitches. All right. Because you'll do a couple rows of these. In the chat room, how many of you have worked with the third loop before? I need to let you guys get done with this whole clue so that way you can meet me back here. I'm gonna start over here about 9:15, I think, for the next section. If I can get any earlier, actually, I probably should try and go earlier. So I'll be live over here in the 9 o'clock hour, early in the 9 o'clock hour, to show you the next step for the 9 o'clock play, because I think you guys will need help. The knitters don't need help yet. The knitters they are trudging along with something super simple here for the first like 3 hours. And then their stuff gets a little bit more intense. So our stuff, it starts off a little bit more intense than the other. So I think that's the end. So here's what you're going to do. When you get to the end of your round, take your hook out of your work come back here, okay? And put your hook coming from the back to the front through that top of the first half double crochet you did. You find it, okay? So that's the top of my first half double crochet. I'm coming from back to front. Take your loop, put it on your hook just like this, and then pull that through, all right? Give that a nice tug and it closes it up. Now you move on to round 3, which starts off with the chain 2. Does that count as a stitch? The crowd says no. No, Marley, it does not. So we also will work half double crochets in the third loop again. So not the front loop, not the back loop, but the third loop. And you work these half double crochets. All right, you'll go all the way around and you'll finish with that again. And then you will pause and wait for your 9 a.m. play. Okay, so how many of you are ready to go then? Let me make sure that I shows that I'm on here. Everything should be good, I hope. Hopefully you guys can see me. Everything's all right. Yeah? Why can't I see? It's like I'm on speaker. Pin it, baby. Hi. Hopefully you can see me and we're good. Okay, so that is what you're going to do for the 8 a.m. play. And as you know, this is still a mystery. Now you can guess, and if you eventually, maybe you figure it out, try not to ruin it for everybody by telling everybody under the sun as far as like, oh, I know if somebody's asking, what are we making? Keep it a secret, make it fun. This is a fun event, one of those fun things you get to do. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go over to the main post. I'm gonna update the bingo card because I forgot to update the bingo card. And then I'm going to get ready for the 9 a.m. plays for the knitters and the crocheters. And then I will be back here a little bit after 9 o'clock doing a live again to help you out with the next step. Now you might not be ready for that yet, but you can absolutely watch me as I'm working the next step as you're crocheting still on this one. So that way you can kind of watch it and then tackle it on your own. I think once you see what you're supposed to do, it'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So you should be good to go. So many of you are here. I'm so excited to have you here. Again, don't forget to smash that like button in the comments of the video. Let me know what color you are using for your color A. All right, guys, I am so happy to be doing this. Let's go. It's game day time. I have goosebumps. I gotta go because I've got you guys ready for the next clue here soon. So I gotta go get it up. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, y'all. So good to see all of you here. Oh, it's so cool. So cool.